Okay, let's talk about the Mexican-American War, a war that was caused and completed because of manifest destiny, nationalism, the need for America to expand, and conflicts with a young country in Mexico. It all starts with an argument over the border. Um, Mexico said the Nueces River in Texas was the border between Mexico and the United States, while the United States says no, the Rio Grande is the border. So Nueces is right here, and we leave them up this way and give Mexico all this land. The Rio Grande much farther south, or a little bit farther south, and we give the United States a lot more land. Um, this conflict was kind of a standoff for a while. But President Polk sent troops to a fort, crossed the Nueces River, sent troops to a fort down by the Rio Grande River. And Mexico at this point had enough, and so they fired and attacked the American troops that were on the Rio Grande on the border between the United States and Mexico. The Mexicans saw these troops as being invaders because they'd already crossed the Nueces. The Americans said they were still on their property. Um, However, whenever this happened, Polk said, look, see, they have attacked us. He told the Congress that they have attacked us. The American public was up in arms. And as a result, the United States declared war on Mexico. So you can kind of say what you want about that. Um, there's a disagreement between which river is the border, but the United States kind of provoked Mexico, and Mexico kind of took the bait to fire at U.S. soldiers, which was enough to start an official war between the countries. The U.S. had much better equipment. They had the new flying cannon, which could be pulled by horseback, much better than the old cannons, which just had little small wheels on. The larger wheels made the cannon more versatile. This cannon was lighter, had better aim, more accurate. General Zachary Taylor marched his men into Mexico. General Kearny down into New Mexico, and then into California. And along the way, the American forces, although they were outnumbered, had tremendous success and found little capable resistance of people able to stop them. So the flying cannon, better tactics, better organization gave the Americans a huge advantage over the Mexicans. And you can see here's the invasion into Mexico. A huge win was the Battle of Buena Vista. And here's the invasion into New Mexico through Santa Fe, through Arizona, down to San Diego. America had incredible leadership, and a good leader is always worth thousands of ordinary men. The Americans had great generals. We are a world that needs more leadership. We need to have a community of leaders, so you want to develop your leadership abilities. A collection of leaders is going to be able to get a lot done, get a movement going, and those who are willing to change will also have a huge advantage. The flying cannons gave Americans a huge advantage. We were willing to change the cannon to get an advantage. So be open to new ideas. Today we have things like drones, and technology is constantly changing. Ideas are constantly changing. So don't be set in your ways. Be open to new ideas so you can be on the leading edge of the change. And by all means, try to develop your leadership abilities. Learn how to lead, because a leader has value in any organization. All careers need leadership. All job fields need leaders. So if you can develop yourself into a capable and amazing leader, you're going to be wanted. You're going to be needed. Meanwhile, in California, the Californians also want their independence. They've started a revolt in central California, and they're independent for a few days, but then the U.S. Navy arrives and annexes California and takes it in. At the end of the Mexican-American War, the United States continues to march deep into Mexico, and they start to threaten Mexico City. And then once they take over Mexico City, the Mexicans have no choice but to give up, and this will end the war. The Mexicans are forced to sign a treaty called the Mexican Cession, which gave much of its northern land to the United States. The United States will also buy an additional $10 million in the Gadsden Purchase from New Mexico and Arizona, thus completing the lower 48 of the United States. So The Mexican cession after the Mexican-American War. Mexican-American War establishes that the Rio Grande is the river between Texas and the United States, or between the United States and Mexico. All this land in the green is the Mexican cession. A huge amount, 1/3 of Mexico's northern land is given to the United States. And then we purchase this last part, the Gadsden Purchase, so we can build a railroad line across here. So that completes our manifest destiny from coast to coast, as Americans rule from coast to coast, and completes the lower 48 of the United States.